Opening night in this theater, the director said to me, "You're never going to make it because you're too undisciplined."
Oh, why is it always Miss Marmalstein?
Miss Marmalstein.
Miss Marmalstein.
Miss Marmalstein.
Miss Marmalstein.
In her first Broadway show, I Can Get It For You Wholesale, in 1962, Barbra Streisand had just one number, but opening night, it was the showstopper.
I could bust.
The mythology is it was a 3-minute ovation.
I wasn't counting, so I don't know. I really don't know, but all I know is that my salary was $175, and the next day it went up to $350.
Don't tell me not to live, just sit and putter. Life's candy and the sun's a ball of butter.
With
Don't
her
bring
next
around
musical,
the clouds
Funny
to
Girl.
rain on my
Hello,
parade.
gorgeous.
And the movie that was made from it.
People who need people are the luckiest people in the world.
Streisand would become a superstar. She would never go back to Broadway, except on her records. Her latest, Encore, is an album of show tunes with stars like Jamie Foxx, who performs Climb Every Mountain with her from The Sound of Music.
It's funny, I used to come on from the other side of the stage, I remember, from the wings over there.
When Streisand won the role of Fanny Brice here at the Winter Garden Theater in 1964. Does it feel the same?
I have to have a moment to feel it.
Jewish girls with prominent noses weren't seen as leading lady material. But the message of Barbra Streisand in Funny Girl, the critic Pauline Kael would write, is that talent is beauty.
I don't necessarily agree.
You don't?
No.
You know you change things.
Well, I've read about it. It's interesting because I didn't...
Did you not feel like you were doing it?
I couldn't feel the power behind what you're saying. I couldn't feel, really? I did that? I couldn't feel it for a long time.
Streisand's self-confidence has long waged war with her self-doubt.
It's like there's two sides of me, just like there are two sides to my face.
Mm-hmm.
And on one side, I can look really good. The other side is hit and miss. The other side, I swear to you, to this day, I don't know. It's hit and miss. Sometimes I'll look very good on this side. I go, oh, that's a nice picture. Sometimes it's awful.
Why do you worry about it so much?
Because it was an important part of my life at the beginning, I think.
Mm-hmm. Watch how she responded when she was presented with a new caricature of herself at Sardi's, the legendary Broadway restaurant.
Aha! Are those my lips?
I hope you like it.
You don't bring me flowers.
At 74, Streisand did a brief tour this summer to support her new album, but the only artist to have #1 records in 6 successive decades doesn't really like performing. When you're finished with this tour, I think you'll have done, what, a total of about 100 concerts in your life?
In my life, yeah.
That's it?
That's it.
And you're considered one of the greatest singers of your time.
That's nice.
How long have you been here?
I've been on this property 1994 I bought this, and then the main house 1995.
Streisand is most happy at the home she shares with her husband James Brolin, a compound of 3 houses on the Malibu coast she built to look like Nantucket.
Because I love New England. I love the East Coast, but I don't want to live there. So I just sort of brought it here.
Do you think about legacy as an artist? Does it matter?
Yeah,
It does.
it does because of my father. I think that is really that his life was cut short at an early age.
So you're keeping him alive?
I was in Yentl, I think.
Yeah.
I sort of became my father.
Papa, can you hear me? Papa, can you see me? Papa, can you find me in the night?
See, when my mother first saw Yentl, I showed it to her alone, and the end said, this film is dedicated to my father and all our fathers. And my mother's first reaction was, why didn't you dedicate it to me? I'm alive.
Her father, Emanuel Streisand, a teacher, died when Barbra was just 16 months old.
Do you feel at some point you filled whatever you felt missing from your dad?
It's a black hole. It's a void that cannot be filled.
Do you reach a point where you're comfortable with that?
It is what it is, and who knows if that didn't make me extra sensitive to what I need as an actress or a singer or a director. That's what makes me so sensitive to every little detail. It's not fun.
Was there a point at which you think you made peace with that?
I think I made peace with my mother because I understand her. Now, my book, I probably will dedicate it to my mother because without her telling me I would never make it and, you know, I can't be a movie star, I was odd looking and whatever, she gave me something to fight for. It was a kind of, I'll show you, Mom. Gave me a force, an energy that I appreciate now.
The book that Streisand has been writing is, she says, an effort to correct misleading stories about her, like Mike Wallace's infamous profile on 60 Minutes in 1991.
How many years have you been in psychotherapy,
bi-
off and on?
Why do you sound so accusatory?
I'm not accusing you.
Are you against psychotherapy?
How did you feel about the 60 Minutes interview?
I hated it. The feeling of like what a woman probably feels when she's date raped, only not as bad. I mean, that's worse, of course. And he made me cry, I think, asking me about my stepfather. And I don't cry that easily.
Were you just jealous of him that he took your mother away?
God, I don't want to cry. I was at summer camp.
Streisand protested.
Okay.
I called him up and I said, why would you do that?
The next week, acknowledging some critical mail, Wallace added,
We also heard from Miss Streisand. She loved it.
That was the stab. You what? He said I loved it when I said I hated it? It was a lie.
Before his death, Wallace publicly apologized, but the two never reconciled. And Streisand doesn't like looking back.
It's hard to relive my life.
Why is it hard?
Been there, done that.
Except for one nostalgic moment we had with her, in her old dressing room at the Winter Garden Theater.
This was my little room that was private. My dressing table was over here.
The current occupant, Sierra Bogus, who was starring in School of Rock, had decorated the walls with Streisand album covers.
Oh my God, look at that.
That's you.
Oh my God.
And on her dressing table,
No, oh my God.
She's got a candle she lights to St. Barbara.
Oh my God. That's quite special. She needs a new one. Just stop by.
Streisand left Sierra a note.
With love, Barbara. Yes! Aww. Just Barbara.
Just Barbara.
Thank you, Barbra Streisand, for existing and not being creeped out by this dressing.
I just want to get the feeling of this, standing here.
A star was born on this stage half a century ago,
Was it really 50 years ago?
and the candle still burns.